Okay, I'm getting ready to dip and swirl. You swirl it twice and you leave the water. You leave the water on the strip, and immediately you compare the GH and KH. So my GH in this tank that's got coral substrate is 180. The KH, nice, is about 80 to 120. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds because it took me that long to read the directions. The pH is right around 7.5. Very good. And then there are no nitrites and very little nitrates. It's only had one fish in it for a good couple months because the other males passed away, and the snail passed away a little while ago, like a month ago. So I put a new snail in there today after the water change, and I did 50% water change in each one of these aquariums. The males that you see swimming with the big fancy tail are feeder guppies, and they are males from tank number 3. This is tank number 1. And after the water change, they all seem to be doing very well. I am going to top it off. Looks like I have some snail eggs up at the top, but I'm not sure if they're fertile because they've been there for a little while. And this is the highest KH I've had, which is carbonate hardness. GH is general hardness. Okay, now I'm going to work on tank number 2. Tank number 2. I'm going to take my strip and I'm going to do 2 swirls. I did have to knock off some of the plants. And of course it says to read the KH and the GH right away. So in comparison, I would say that the general hardness is between 120 and 180. The KH is between 80 and 120. The pH is about 7.0, not quite 7.5. We have 0 nitrates and a trace of nitrates. So this is my female tank that have had a lot of babies. I've been checking to see if there's any young males in there. The females look very skinny because they have not been fed regularly. And I wanted to see actually how they did on the Java moss and the hornswort and any other organic nutrients. So it does not look like I have any males. This is a cooler tank. This tank runs about 72 degrees. The heater is on right now because I've done a water change. I am getting ready to top it off. It's almost at the top. It's 1 inch from the top. So these are females, and the fry are what they have given birth to and growing up, but it does not at this moment appear to have any males. They all look female. There might be a few juvenile males in here that have not matured yet. So when they mature, I'm going to put them over here in the male tank, number 1. Sorry for the glare. So that's the results. As you see, I have a trace of nitrates. That's good. On to tank number 3. This is tank number 3. 1, 2, leave the water on the strip, and immediately compare the GH and the KH. So my GH is 180 and my KH is really low, between 0 and 40. So this is all gravel substrate here. This has Eco Complete and gravel, and this is all crushed coral. So that's the difference in the aquariums. This was a test setup. These are feeder guppies. I've had a lot of loss. I've had a lot of births, and it also had some little platies in it, and I have some little platies growing up, but because of no water changes and not regular feedings, they have remained small in size. So I'm hoping if I pick up water changes 10% once a week and feed them daily, that they will pick up in size. If not, I will have to outsource some platies to get the size back up. And of course, people would say live foods help. So if I had some live bloodworms or live baby brine shrimp, that might help. So let's see what the other results are. We have what is the pH? I would say the pH is right at 7.0, and there are no nitrites and a trace of nitrates. So I'm very pleased with these tanks, even though they've been severely neglected. So the pH may be a little acidic, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. As you see, this one's low, so I'm going to add another 2 inches of water here, an inch of water here, and 2 inches of water there. So how much do you think that is? An inch per gallon. These are 10-gallon tanks, maybe. So 2 gallons there, a gallon here, and 2 gallons here. So I need to fill another bucket of 5 gallons and disperse it evenly. So I did do some substrate cleaning, as you can tell. This is Eco Complete that was topped with gravel. So 1/3 of the aquarium, I did a substrate vacuum. These are not deep substrates like I have downstairs. So here you do want to vacuum portions of the substrate with each water change. So next water change, I'll pick up in the middle of the tank and go over to about where the SLC Aquatic sign is, and then I'll start the rotation over again from right to left. So each one of these aquariums, this one has 2 sponge filters, a medium size and a small size. This one has the double sponge filter, and that also has a double sponge filter. As you see, this one's going to be a good breeding tank because of the GH and the KH being so high with crushed coral. The GH is 180, but the KH carbonate hardness is only between 40 and 80. So to raise the carbonate, that's what we're going to discuss in the live stream tonight. So come join us at 6 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel, Susan for SLC Aquatics.